It seems odd to dedicate a video to a movie that has yet to come out. Yet, the trailer for Cats has yielded such an intense reaction online, largely and overwhelmingly negative, that I feel it is an appropriate time to add my thoughts to the conversation. Before sharing my opinions, it is only fair to acknowledge that I've been a fan of Cats since before I can remember, and that I recently attended a performance of the show on its North American tour, looking as excited as a tween at their first pop concert, suggesting a tremendous amount of bias. It has come to my attention, however, that the significance and impact of this musical have been largely overlooked in the recent public discourse. Negative reactions to Cats are nothing new. The original Broadway and West End productions of the show received mixed reviews. Many critics and audiences dismissed the show for its apparent lack of a plot. As reviewer Frank Rich wrote in the New York Times, quote, "If you blink, you'll miss the plot." Likewise, many questioned the weirdness of the show, with its bizarre designs and unorthodox song cycle structure. Yet, the show proved successful, garnering numerous Tony and Olivier Awards and becoming one of the longest-running musicals, both on Broadway and the West End. It proved to the world that a British dance show could be successful, and Dame Gillian Lynn's choreography remains a landmark in the evolution of musical theater dance. Its design elements were equally revolutionary, as it stands out as the first time a truly immersive theater piece reached the mainstream. Its junkyard set design that broke down the traditional proscenium arch was unlike anything audiences had ever seen before. It established the precedent of the mega musical, paving the way for shows like Les Mis, Phantom, Lion King, and Wicked. It is for this reason that many theater aficionados resent Cats. They criticize its commercialism and populism that transformed the Broadway landscape into a tourist and family-friendly atmosphere. These critics missed the point. Cats was always meant to reach a wider audience, very much apart from the regular theater-going crowd. Its high spectacle and mass appeal created Cats superfans across all ages and demographics around the world. In this regard, Hooper's film adaptation seems to be entirely keeping with the great tradition that Cats has become. Casting pop superstars like Jennifer Hudson, Taylor Swift, and Jason Derulo contributes to the mass appeal that has proven to be so essential to Cats' success. The credibility of the cast is bolstered by the inclusion of the revered Dame Judi Dench and Sir Ian McKellen, and of esteemed dancers from around the world, including dancers from the Royal Ballet and the New York City Ballet. Some of the sharpest criticism of the trailer has been of the appearance of the cat characters. People cite their humanoid appearance as being frightening, but I wonder if they realize that the human-cat hybrid design is a hallmark of the stage production. In fact, it is this design that perhaps most clearly conveys T.S. Eliot's line that proves to be a central theme of the musical, that cats are very much like you. A directorial decision to purely animate the film would remove the crucial human element, and a decision to simply employ makeup design as on stage would not translate to film in a way that would still appeal to the wide target audience that is accustomed to the look of sleeker images that can be achieved technologically. As I mentioned before, people initially had negative reactions to the cat people of the original stage productions, and we are simply seeing that again. But this swarm of negativity goes beyond that. The ferocity of Cats' naysayers is indicative of the new preference of cinephiles that favors hyperrealism over any sort of stylistic vision. Do we really prefer the bland safeness of the Lion King remake? This movie takes no risks in design and effectively fails to convey any sort of artistic directorial style. But by playing it safe, Disney manages to avoid the harsh criticism and backlash that Universal now faces for boldly promoting the work of a director and production team who are not afraid to take risks. It makes me wonder how some of today's audiences would have initially reacted to the more stylized designs of Hollywood's past. Look, for instance, to the MGM classic, The Wizard of Oz. What would they have commented on a Wizard of Oz YouTube trailer? Why is the witch green? She's not supposed to have green skin. What was MGM thinking? And that's not a lion, that's a freaky humanoid lion thing. They should have just used a real lion or animated one. Reactions like that were probably anticipated by the studio, as The Wizard of Oz employed prosthetic makeup design techniques that had never been seen by audiences before. But the studio took a risk and trusted the artist's style over the safe and financially stable option of simply doing the obvious. What some cinema snobs, like myself, sometimes fail to realize is that sometimes movies just aren't made for us. Just like the original stage production of Cats, the film adaptation is attempting to reach an audience that might be outside the usual blockbuster movie-going crowd. Cats has always been a musical for the weirdos, the punks, the geeks, the fanfic writers, the hipsters, the drama queens, the Tumblr posters, and anyone in between. I'm sure there will be plenty about this movie that I, as an avid Cats fan, will have my complaints about. But one thing I know I will love about this adaptation is that it maintains the freakiness and populist appeal that fueled the spirit of the original stage production.